3 years ago now, I reviewed a title called Friday the 13th the Game by the infamous Sonic Boom developers Illfonic. A lot has changed in those 3 years, and I like to think that I've gotten a lot better. Illfonic meanwhile has abandoned the messy Friday the 13th before fixing it, and then announced a similar game featuring the Predator IP, because one crappy video game about a classic 80s horror franchise just wasn't enough. Is this latest attempt at an asymmetric horror experience better than their last though? Well, I guess it's time to find out as we ask Predator Hunting Grounds, how bad can it be? Please note, we are playing the free-to-play demo that was available over the weekend, so what is said here may not be accurate for the final release. Predator Hunting Grounds is not a pretty game, in fact it's a pretty ugly one. First, let's start off with the good. The Predator itself looks pretty slick. The model is decent and I like the different skins for it, we'll get back to that though. Now let's discuss everything else. Predator Hunting Grounds looks like a PS3 game, and that's being generous. The forest is blurry, the textures are subpar, and it just looks generic, bland, and like some crappy asset flip I'd see on Steam. Ironically, the graphics are so bad that the Predator's invisibility does the opposite of what it should and makes it stand out like a sore thumb. I'm not even joking. Then we have the human models, and oh boy, do they leave a lot to be desired. This is the look of a man who has seen some shit. Stare so dead that it makes the Predator movie franchise look like it's still in its prime. On the sound front, the game is fine, but really is nothing special. It's mostly just noise and really adds nothing to the experience overall, especially when playing as the Predator, where it's hard to hear anything going on unless it's one of the very loud alarms, or the glitched sound where a gun just keeps firing for no reason. Overall, this is a poorly presented game, but does the gameplay make up for it? No. No, it doesn't. Again, let's start with the positives here. Playing as the Predator is admittedly pretty damn fun. It's only fun, however, because it's a power trip where you can destroy people. It's satisfying in the same way that playing Jason in Friday the 13th was satisfying. The problems that Jason had reappear here too, though slightly different in nature. Where Jason was often slow with unwieldy and irritating abilities that were essential to winning the game, the Predator is fast but all over the place and is hard to keep track of, with the camera often flinging around, struggling to show what's happening. The Predator's abilities and gear is a little irritating to use, but the main problem with them is that they're almost entirely pointless. We mentioned the camouflage already, but all of the weapons you can equip aren't as effective or as efficient as just bashing someone with your claws, and are really just there as filler. The only semi-useful ability is the Predator Vision, which lets you spot your enemies a lot easier. Aside from that, you're often better just rushing and slashing your way through a team, especially when they inevitably split up, because nobody plays this as a co-op experience. The Fire Team, meanwhile, is just a chore to play. It is an uninspired, bland, and repetitive 4-player co-op shooter, where you and 3 others basically just ignore each other unless you go down, completing a series of basic objectives while killing some AIs and maybe even the Predator. Oh, and while we're here, let's talk about the AI soldiers because they're actually terrible. Genuinely, some of the worst AI I've seen in a game in a long time. I've played trashy asset flips on Steam which cost less than $1 that have better AI than this. It's honestly abysmal, and they are completely pointless as they do barely any damage to even be a threat. I honestly don't know why they made this a multiplayer game. They could have easily just made a single-player Predator game and hired someone to program the AI. It's what people want to be in this game. It has the most promise, they should have just done that. To top this off, we have the game's inclusion of loot boxes for what is seemingly no reason at all. You occasionally get these items called field lockers while playing Predator Hunting Grounds, which are a loot box where you get free cosmetic items. If you get a duplicate, you get in-game currency, something which you can collect around the map. That's fine, but there is a catch, which is why I think this is going to be something pretty shady in the long haul. When you get an item in the locker, you don't immediately get access to the item sometimes. Sometimes it seems you then have to buy the item with the in-game currency, which if I were to hazard a guess, you could just buy with real world money instead of earn through gameplay. Now you can earn a decent amount pretty quickly, but to earn that currency to buy a box to then potentially buy the item you get out of it, that's not a great look on top of an already not great looking experience. I could very well be wrong, but we'll have to wait and see. Predator Hunting Grounds is a lifeless game that I could honestly see coming and going without any real notice or impact. It's a janky mess of a game that they're going to charge £30+ for, and while it is a demo, I'm going to be honest with you, I expect launch date on the 24th of April to be just as bad. Take this from someone who was burnt by Friday the 13th, the game. Don't support Illfonic. Just don't. They're going to release this game, it's going to be a buggy mess, barely fixed if at all, and then they're eventually just going to abandon it and move on to the next IP, leaving the actual fans of the product they've made in the dust, just like Friday the 13th the game, and just like Sonic Boom. If I'm wrong, I will apologise, but as far as I'm concerned, they have the history, and this game lines up perfectly with what has happened in the past, so to me, buying Predator Hunting Grounds is both a waste of time and a waste of your money. For more VividChim content, why not hit that subscribe button and hit the like button to let us know you enjoyed the video. If you want more content right now, however, why not click one of the 2 videos which have just appeared on the screen, they'll take you to some videos right away. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon.